Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're doing another book review. It's been a long time since I did that. I just read Ready Player One, and since the movie is coming out next month and I just think it's a great book, it's time to talk about it. So if you're interested in that, then please keep on watching. Alright, so Ready Player One is a science fiction dystopian novel written by Ernest Cline in 2011. It's also his debut novel. It's the year 2044 and the protagonist Wade Watts lives in some kind of ghetto. The whole world is just overpopulated. There is no employment for people. People are starving to death, so everything's really gone to shit. However, there's one thing that makes life enjoyable to these people, which is the Oasis. The Oasis is a virtual reality world, kind of a MMORPG. And this is where most people find employment these days, and where even people spend their whole lives. So they pretty much give up their real life in order to live their life in the Oasis. So the Oasis was built and programmed by James Halliday. After his death, a video message is shown to every Oasis user saying that he has hidden an Easter egg inside this simulation, and whoever finds it gets the big prize, which is the fortune of James Halliday. So he doesn't have any heirs, so he's pretty much giving the Oasis and all his power to the person who wins this contest. In order to retrieve the Easter egg, each user has to surpass 3 gates, and in these 3 gates they have tasks they also have to master. Parzival, who is Wade's avatar, is the first one to actually clear the first gate, and from that on he tries to, of course, finish the second and also the third. But on his way there are also other people trying to do the very same thing, because everyone wants to win this Easter egg or wants to win this contest. What I think is very interesting is that although this is not only in the lit RPG genre, which I didn't even know before, so lit as in literature RPG, I didn't know this genre before, and I really read a lot of books, and that was so interesting to me to read something like that for the very first time. And I didn't even know that stuff like this exists. Well, I personally, of course, I love RPGs and also MMORPGs, but this was something completely new to me. So actually reading a book but also being inside a game at the same time was very interesting to me. I mean, the dystopian aspect wasn't really something new. We've seen it in so many books, like 1984, Brave New World, and so much more. But this gave it a whole new touch somehow. What I really like about it is that the book somehow raises the question if life is still enjoyable if you're just living it inside a simulation. How does real life still matter if you live your whole life inside a simulation? So the question is, of course, what is real life at this point? Because the people, the Gunters, they are called, who are in search for this Easter egg, spend their entire life inside the simulation. Wade even goes to school in this simulation because he can't afford going to a real school in the real world. So everything in his life revolves around being in this simulation. Even basic human needs can be fulfilled in this simulation, because when you want to order food, for example, you can do that inside this game, and in reality they're sending it to you. So everything that happens inside the simulation somehow also has an impact on the real world. So the question is, did James Halliday invent the greatest invention of mankind, or is it the worst? I honestly don't know if a life is still worth living if you're just inside a game for the whole time. when a new game comes out and it's something I've been looking forward to playing for years, and of course I just buy the game, I go home and I play it the whole day. But after I finish it, that's basically it. When I stop playing, I'm back in the real world. I never really stop existing in that sense. So that is really something I was struggling with, or wondering how people can enjoy living in this simulation. Maybe it's because they don't have anything left in their real lives. Wade, for example, doesn't have family, he doesn't have a job in the real world, he doesn't have friends, he is just alone in reality. But inside the simulation he has friends, he goes to school, he has this task, namely finding Halliday's egg. So tell me, what do you think about it? Do you think how would you react, or what do you think about living inside a simulation but at the same time to stop living in the real world? What do you think about it? Let me know it down below. And the stories, or the hunt for the egg, is even getting more exciting when the enemy appears, which is in this case Innovative Online Industries, short IOI, which is a corporation who tries to control the oasis by winning this egg. They go as far as killing Wade's aunt in an attempt to actually kill Wade, and they even kill one of the competitors in the contest just in order to win this egg. So you can see that this is really a corporation who doesn't really deserve to win. So as you know, when there is a story, you always want the kid to win who had the worst life, or who really deserves it the most. So we have basically Wade fighting against IOI, which, although Ready Player One belongs to the science fiction and dystopian genre, I think it also fits the coming of age novel pretty well, because we have Wade struggling with not only with his task of finding the egg, but also his crush on Artemis, who is also a competitor in the contest. Yeah, Artemis is one of the competitors in the contest. She's also trying really hard to win, or to find the Easter egg. Whereas Wade says that he could quit the whole contest, he doesn't care about it anymore because he loves her so much. She still really is eager to win this contest. There is nothing more important in the world than this contest. She even stops talking to Wade just to focus on the contest, whereas Wade is willing to give it all up just to be with her because he likes her so much. What I like is that in the end they meet in person, and I think the book even ends with a sentence that Wade doesn't even want to be in the oasis anymore, because he finally meets the love of his life, and he realizes with that one statement that there is so much more in reality than in the simulation or in a video game. He meets her for the first time in real life, and although they know each other, or they've known each other for so many weeks and months, it's still as if he's meeting a new person, because he has actually never seen her in reality, but only her avatar in the simulation. What most people love about Ready Player One is that it is full of 80s nostalgia. Well, I'm not from the 80s, but I still enjoyed reading the book. It was nice seeing Wade talking about Pac-Man and old movies, which I of course also know. But yeah, if you're from the 80s, I can imagine it's even, or you can relate to it even more on a personal basis than I can. So that was also what I somehow really enjoyed. Negative reviews that I've seen said that it is very unlikely that in a simulation set in 2044 there are so many 80s references, and I don't think it's that unlikely. I mean, if James Halliday created this whole oasis and he developed this according to his wishes. He would of course add things that he would enjoy or he would relate to or have memories with. So if he can add those things to the simulation, that's no problem with me. I mean, there are several planets where you have this 80s nostalgia, but these are very few planets described in the book. The book says that there are hundreds and thousands of planets inside the oasis, and that if you own a planet, you can alter it according to your own wishes. So why shouldn't you be able to make an 80s planet or a 90s planet? Of course, there will also be contemporary video games inside the oasis. The novel never said that it is only based on the 80s. It was only based in that sense because it was all about the econ, which was of course James Halliday's task, so he would incorporate these things he enjoyed the most in his life. I think that is what many people get wrong. It is not a world where everything is based on the 80s. There are so many planets and sectors and all of that, and it never said that it is an 80s simulation or something like that. You can play every single game in this simulation. Wait or Passable even says that there is a library, or yes, some kind of a library where you can really watch every single movie ever created, and you can just play every single game ever created. So if this simulation was real, you'd be able to play Pac-Man just as much as other games like Fallout, or maybe even games that come out in a few years. This wasn't really an in-depth review, I think, because I left so many things out. There are so much more things to talk about, but I think I should keep it very short to make it more interesting for you, and just talk about the aspects that I was most interested in. So if you read Ready Player One, then please let me know and write a comment down below what you think about the game. What you think about the book. Honestly, this book really made me feel like I was playing a game. This is one of the books where you start reading and you can't stop. You just can't stop reading it, and you really feel like you're going inside this book. I hope this makes sense, because that's how I feel when I read a really good book. I just forget time and space all around me, and I just somehow become the main character. And this is what happened to me when I read this book. It definitely doesn't have the best writing style. It's very simple and fast-paced, so don't expect George R.R. Martin or Tolkien writing style. You won't find that here. But I don't think every book necessarily needs a very descriptive and detailed writing style. I think that one was just great as it is. The plot progressed, and I didn't really have any questions in the end. I'd like to see a second novel maybe one day. Let's hope Ernest Cline will write another one. There are rumors, but let's see. The movie is also coming out in April, so make sure to watch that as well. I hope you enjoyed my short review. Yeah, I'm really getting into books again, so if you have any books you could recommend or you want me to review, then please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see each other in the next one. Bye guys!